That's not crazy.
No, seriously.
Sessions with Shell.
Come on, man. Listen.
Back in the booth with you guys.
Back in here, man. It is
Popping
Tuesday.
that shit.
Listen, this Fly Talk though.
I said we Fly Talk Tuesday.
Exactly.
You know how it go.
Exactly. That's
we
why
just
you
in
said
here, and we
shit.
just in here kicking the bobo, my nigga.
Yeah, man. It's been one of those, man. Life been good, so when life is good and you feel that, it puts you in moments where you can sit and reflect, right? You know, you chop it up with your loved ones while the baby lungs are in effect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And we always talk about, I think something we've hit on a bunch of episodes is self-reflection and how important it actually is. You know, the ability to sit back. You know, everybody, you know, most people go to work, you do your thing, you come home, and then you unwind, you decompress, you know, and everybody does it differently.
Yeah.
You know, but I think we have to start putting a staple on what are you actually doing to deal with your mind management. You know what I'm saying?
That's nature, man.
Mind management.
That sounds like us. Where I'm at right now, you know, I'm always shouting out Severance. I'm sorry, I'm not getting paid for this, guys. I'm not, man. But I'll say the show has broken some different walls in my thinking when it comes to certain things, and you just kind of mind management made me think of a mind bending show of some sort. You know what I'm saying? But then, really, in all actuality, you're living out just your reality, right? Just trying to organize what's going on up there. You know what I'm saying? It's mad stuff going on, bro. Mad stuff going on up top. Yeah, man.
It's important. One common thing that you hear all the time is how they say, life is short. You know, you never can get your time back. But another thing that we often see is how people are so frivolous with the way they manage their time too. Like it's usually like I don't want to say an anomaly, you know, because we see it all the time. People who take pride in the way they manage their time. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's more commonly seen that people don't. You know, most people spend 6 to 8 hours doom scrolling online. You know,
for sure.
You know, it just. I think it's something that we have to get back to making it a real point in your life to your intentions. That's what
intention. Yeah.
So making more meaningful movements and like, you know, your diet, your everyday. Think about what do you do every day?
Right.
One thing you do every day and try to find the good shit. But most of us, so we're going to find stuff like, you know, I smoke a cigarette every single day.
Right.
You know, so I'll take a shit every day. You eat every day, of course. But, you know, it's like your habits. Like,
well, I think that's where they tell you, you know, I've done soul searching in those ways of like self-help and, you know, things that kind of can organize, you know, how you move. One of the major things that always pops up is like write down what you do in a day. You know what I'm saying? And the things out of that day that you don't like or feel like you should subtract, like do that immediately. Like don't waste time on it, but actually detail your shit out. And that's just being honest with yourself too.
yeah.
You know, I think that's one of the major steps is don't lie to yourself like, yeah, I do this a little bit or a lot. No, it was done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's definitely step one of self-evaluation, bro. You got to realize this is a basic, fundamental, foundational truth here.
Yes, sir.
You are incapable of lying to yourself.
That's a fact. Man.
You know, like you can't lie to yourself.
You cannot.
So if you're basing anything, if you're any decision, any thought, any aspiration, any dream you're chasing, if you're starting off telling yourself some shit that you know isn't true, you're doomed to fail. So be honest. For one, in general, be honest. And be honest with yourself. Listen. For one, start there, square one.
Listen, we can see. Okay, yeah, it is hard, right? It is a hard thing to do, but really, nah, man, it's easy. You know why? Because you're facing yourself, guys. You're not in a room, a stadium full of people, improving yourself to a coliseum of people. It's you, right? Who else can you be? Be honest with that 5-year-old you, that 10-year-old you, that 15-year-old you. Be clear and make sure you've passed steps
and
of growth.
realize that
You know what I
you're
mean?
the only one that truly matter, because the harsh fact and the harsh reality is don't nobody else give a fuck about what you doing.
That's the fact.
Yeah.
Until
Honestly,
you make them, until you make it a thing. You know what I mean?
take all of that fear and anxiety of what everybody else gonna think or say, or don't nobody care that much.
They really don't.
You know, everybody just we gotta reclaim our lives, our time, our mind, mainly our minds though, you know, reclaim that shit.
Yeah, and it doesn't take my fault, to cut you, but it don't take much, man. You know what I'm saying? Just because it was there the whole time. Don't feel lost about it. I think you just gotta up and realize, okay, either what have I been doing that's been real detrimental to myself? You know, who have I been letting affect me? You know what I'm saying? You know, am I giving too much of myself? A great man passed on to me a great word, man, about like your emotions and your feelings throughout a day and what you can give up, right? And what you can take. And in a sense of you have a gallon a day. That means to drink from and give up. Measure that out through the day, bro. Because understand, if you realize you're giving up way more than you're drinking out of that same container, it's an issue. You understand? So, and don't get me wrong, just be a servant, y'all. My father taught me that best. You know what I'm saying? Servanthood is best. You know what I'm saying? But the only way you can be a servant is making sure that you're equipped. You know what I'm saying?
It all starts.
You're well enough.
It starts at the same singular point. Is you gotta take care of yourself. It's very important. It's not selfish. It's not
Thank
selfish.
you for saying that.
It's not selfish for you to put yourself first.
Right.
You know, I mean, if anything, it's like it makes the most sense for you to be the best version of yourself, to present that version of yourself to the world, for the world to benefit from.
Right.
Straight up,
and
man.
then nothing will affect you. When you think about it, when you're honest with yourself, you're bulletproof at that point. Anything that's shot at you won't affect you because you know who you are, you know where you stand.
Yeah.
Your integrity is there. There's nothing that's questioned at that point because you're the only one that can question. And other shits don't even matter unless you allow it to matter. Right. And it's okay if it does, right? You took that risk. There's either reward or some hurt to it, whatever. But I think it's all about staying aligned with that, man.
Staying aligned with it, and just taking responsibility for your life. You realize that you are the director, you're the actor, you're the if your life was a movie, would anybody give a fuck about watching it?
Come on, man.
Live your life like it's a movie. Bro. You know, you're in direct control of your reality. You know, you can control it. There's a lot of things that like stigmas and stereotypes and fucking it's a million and one things that we could latch onto and let it bound us. Right. We black people, we could say a million and one things about just being a black person. Yeah. You know, that if we allow it to, would definitely keep us down. It would keep us in the box. Yeah, that's for sure. But when you really take the power and realize that you're in control of your reality, like anything you can think, anything you're willing to put the thought and the exercise and the practice into, you can manifest into your reality.
You know what's bad, dog? You know what's bad? In my playful mind, man, it took me to a Key and Peele comedy skit where, my man was like, he was a basketball player, they had just won or something. He's like, kids, you can go on the roof right now and fly. Jump off the roof and fly. No, for real. I'm not playing with y'all. Then the next day he got to go on the press conference. Like, I'm sorry for what I said. I'm sorry for all the accidents that happened. You know what I'm saying? We ain't saying go jump off a roof if you believe you can fly, dog. We're not saying that.
Nah, we're not saying that. But what I'm saying is, if you was if you want to fly, you can think about what could you do to fly, and then develop some backpack with some anti-gravital properties, or
there are people out here that go jump off the roof, dog. That shit crazy. My fault. Go ahead.
There are, and we all know them. And God bless those people. And that's why we need more people to fucking turn their lights on, so we can enlighten the world to something different. Like we've got the example of the world that's presented to us is like so barbaric and wild when in reality it's like we all choose to be that way or subscribe to that culture. Like shout out to all the even tempered people who can walk around and turn the other cheek.
Right.
Who can
and you got to think there's a lot more of those than what we think too.
There are a lot. There are a lot.
It's crazy how the world portrays it like they're really, conflict, but there's really some peaceful ass people out here, man. And,
for sure. It's just most cultures.
Shout out to y'all.
Most cultures in American society, at least, like the bad guy. They like the gangster. They like in most American men's mind, if they can whoop your ass, you can't really tell him shit. Right. It's either I can whoop your ass or I got more money than you.
Yeah.
Vice versa. And if you broke and can whoop a nigga ass, it's like everybody gonna have more money than you, so you're gonna be doing a lot of fighting.
Right.
My nigga, and that's kind of how it goes. It's like,
I mean, you might get some respect down the line to a certain extent.
You definitely get some respect.
Right.
But in today's age, that guy don't live long.
Hey guys, listen, we're not saying to do that, all right?
No, it's just a reflection. It's a
reflection
on like how.
I just want to shout out to the kids that actually watch this, that tap in. We want to make sure.
Yeah, and I'm sure y'all can relate to how sometimes the culture can lead to such silly stuff. Though it's like
we live in a silly world right now.
We all know somebody who died over something real silly.
Super.
Or was exposed to a traumatizing situation over something super duper silly,
Yeah, man.
And I hate that so many more kids have to go through that because it was like that when we were young for sure.
Yeah.
But I think there are just so many more kids being exposed to these traumatic situations just because the culture has allowed it to go kind of.
I mean, we're
astray.
Also we just have more access. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's taping everything. Now you're not even only doing it just because I'm part of this game, but you're doing it because that camera's on me. So this is the thing. I don't want to look crazy in front of this camera in this moment right here that could go viral. Even if I am in the hood, it still could go globally viral and either could make me look crazy or, turn me up. So I don't know, man. We live in a crazy world where that's just the biggest thing right now. Just
man.
You remember there was a time where we did want to catch everything on camera, but it was more so VHS camcorders. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like
and you wasn't sharing like
it really wasn't
like
stressful
today.
Either.
If you was to find some of those old VHS tapes that y'all recorded, it'd be like groundbreaking, because you wasn't sharing that stuff with the world.
No,
you shoot it, you box it up, and it goes in a laundry basket in the attic somewhere
for the family. Vault. That's it. You're right.
So it's like now I hate the effects.
That's how these ones should be. You know what I'm saying? That's how it should.
Shout out to my age bracket. What are we, millennials? Okay. Are we millennials? What are we? Not even sure. We're millennials.
We'll go with millennials. Because Gen X is.
We're not Gen X.
Nah, Gen Z, whatever.
Gen X is my mom.
Listen, don't give me the line. And
hold on. Gen X is my mom and them.
Mm-hmm. We can Google.
We millennial, then Gen Z is after us, right?
Right.
Damn, that's wild.
I just, I don't even.
Shout out to niggas who was raised in the 90s and early 2000s. Put it like that. It's like I feel like we got the best of both worlds because we was outside before technology and social media, but we were also young enough. Like we were the first generation of kids.
The first.
Using that shit. So
bro, I had a StarTech Motorola. You understand? My highlight, my highlight of that cell phone. My highlight of that. It was actually before the chirp. That's what's crazy. Shit. They gave the chirp later. You know what I'm saying? But the highlight of that phone was changing the antenna on the shit. You know what I'm saying? So it could be when we go to parties and shit, it's showing green or blue or something.
Yeah, I remember playing Snake on the box
on the Nokia. You know what I'm saying? Like we went through those phases.
How old were you when you got your first phone?
Probably about 12.
That's gangster. That's super early. So y'all ain't know
12.
Shell been Uncle Shell been that nigga.
Chilling, man.
He been that nigga now.
Blessed to have
12 is crazy in our generation, nigga.
Nah, that was early. No. That was early. Coming to basketball practice, having that, it was like
that's early.
Now it was only because it became necessity. You know what I'm saying?
I think I may have been about 12 myself when I got my first phone.
But I was about to say, you tell me.
I was when I got my phone, I was lucky. My oldest sister got in trouble. And my parents was into the like public shame thing, like that was their thing. Damn. So they took her brand new phone and gave it to the youngest sibling. Like, here, you want a phone? Take a phone. So I had a phone at probably like 12, only because of situational. Only because of my sister got in trouble. But
T, shout out to you.
Shout out to T. But I probably got my first phone shortly after that, probably 13. I'm sure by 13.
Yeah, because we were moving around a lot as kids, bro. So guess what? They're gonna be calling us. You better answer this phone. You better.
We had the box Nokias we was recording our own ringtones and shit. Bro. And I had a little flip Motorola at one point in time too.
Definitely had the flip Motorola.
Sidekick, shout out the Sidekicks.
Come on.
That was the first nigga I ever seen.
Man, the Sidekicks was crazy back in the day. I get that right now, bro. Yeah. Listen. We can go right back. We can go right back.
We some old niggas. Shout out to all y'all who felt that.
Man, especially the Netflix chirps. I mean, not Netflix, I'm tripping. Nextel. Nextel chirps.
It was wild. I never got into the chirp thing, but my niggas, the I-870, the I-930.
The fact that you're knowing the model.
Because I used to want them, but I wasn't that guy with the phones and shit. You know, my mom kept me on the phone. I was cool with the phone. She got me. I wasn't about to wild out on the phone.
What was your first reaction? Because I want to say what dropped first? Because it wasn't the iPhone. It was
I remember the first.
It was iPhone. But was it a phone or was it just
that was a phone? And so it just had internet on it. iPad started going crazy. Okay. So they got the iPad Touch around the time.
There it is. There.
So those, it was like the iPad Touch was a thing, and then it was around the same time the iPhone came out, though. Yeah. But I do remember the first iPhone, bro, and that shit was a game changer.
Bro, when I say I was looking at this joint, like, this is not real. You know what I'm saying? It was almost holographic in some ways.
So we was lucky enough to be, we live around a military base, so Craigslist was becoming a big thing.
Booming at that time.
Yeah, so military dudes come through and they be coming back from overseas and they have everything. So they're selling everything up there. They're selling cars for cheap, motorcycles,
I got a memory for you.
Bikes, guns. They're selling everything on that shit.
Memory for y'all sharing. I want to say my first time I saw any of these contraptions was because of this guy right here.
I was a savvy young pirate out here.
We'll just keep it at that.
Hey.
Jack Sparrow. You understand what I'm saying? This is real.
Yeah.
Listen, man. Niggas really had good childhoods, man. We had a lot of good experiences in life, man.
Shout out the city, man. City provided us a great
for sure
nurturing environment.
Indeed, Indeed. We just pray and hope that y'all had the same. If you haven't, create that now for yourself, man. We're not always there, man. If you listening and you able to see this right now, you moving around, dog. So
be the miracle, man. Create the vibe, man. The vibe that you want. Just realize it's in your hands, man. Like that ass. You could do it if you wanted to do it. You're not, if you're too tired, then you're not gonna get it. You gotta get up and put some step behind the words and the complaints. Otherwise, nobody want to hear that.
Nobody trying to hear that.
I ain't gonna lie. I don't want to hear nobody complaining about nothing and not willing to get off their ass and fix themselves. So
no, real talk. And listen, everybody get them maps out. Because guess what? We ain't flying no more. That's dead, my nigga.
Road trips.
I'm supporting road trips forever right now. You understand?
No, it's for y'all.
Crazy.
Rent a fucking Tesla.
And get the hell out of here. Let's go.
Let that shit do it.
Yes, sir. Get back on the roads. I just wanted to put that public service announcement out there. I missed the map days.
Fly Talk Tuesday's feeling good today. I ain't gonna lie.
Man, it's good love, man. I'm always glad to do the Fly Talk.
Yeah, it's fire, bro. Good to connect with niggas, man. I hope y'all can feel the message, man. We just trying to get
keep it moving, motivate, whatever. You know what I'm saying? We just sharing our life, man. So
and don't think we up here trying to preach to nobody either, because one thing about it, man, me and Uncle Shell sitting here, and this is my brother for real. So we have conversations about like ongoing dialogue about life and how we can do things better, and getting the perspective from a respected perspective.
Yes, sir.
Somebody who's looking at it from the outside, who we bounce that off.
Provide that, yeah. I mean, the perspectives matter, bro. They really do.
I'm saying that to say, man, it's important to have a tribe, to have somebody to talk to. Tribe management. We talked about mind management earlier, but tribe management, another thing. Like, if you're somebody who's been through a bunch of friends, look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself why.
Right.
Why can't you keep a friend?
Right.
You know what I mean? And figure it out, because it's important. You know what I mean? Like, I'm lucky to have a brother, a couple brothers, you know, like my people that I've been around for a while. And I think it's just an attribute to caring about that.
Yeah.
Like, caring about my tribe and the way I deal and interact with them, you know. So it's just another thing that from my experience, I want to make sure that, you know, if somebody can take something from that, you respect that. Your mom, your brother, your sister, not even blood, just people who genuinely care about
you
and your progression,
that's
man, your mind, make sure that you're okay, you know?
Yeah, because not only is somebody supposed to, like you said just now, not only are they supposed to care about you, they should care about your progression.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? When they're moving along, they want to be able to look to the left or the right, and you're right there. Doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing, trailblazing, you know what I'm saying, open a lane for yourself, whatever. We should all be right there celebrating all our shit together. You know what I'm saying? Running into each other at islands. You know what I'm saying? Running into each other.
Stop being scared to like people shit because y'all worry about what somebody's going to say, man. Support, man. We need to get off this bullshit. Black people support.
Facts.
Like, subscribe, share. If you see a black person, whether you like it or not, like it.
Tap in, share.
Put us before them.
Yeah.
Let's get it together.
For sure. Listen, man.
Fly Talk Tuesdays.
You already know, my boy. It's your boy, Uncle Shell.
And it's your man, Fly Talk.
Yes, sir. It's been a Fly Talk.
Sessions.
Yes, sir.